In this video, I'll be answering the question, who is Midland? Hi, I'm consumer protection attorney Bill Clanton, and I've helped hundreds of consumers, regular folks like me and you, deal with debt collection harassment, inaccurate credit reporting, and other consumer-related matters. Who is Midland? This is a huge question. Midland operates in the United States under two names, Midland Credit Management and Midland Funding. Midland Funding buys the debts, and Midland Credit Management collects the debts, generally speaking. So you'll see people sued by Midland Funding, but the suit is being handled by Midland Credit Management. Both Midland entities are owned by a company called Encore Capital Management. Encore is a publicly traded company. It has hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars in revenue. I think their 2019 revenue was over $1 billion. They were able to squeeze out of consumers. They operate in Europe and England. They're known as Cabot in England. So Midland buys tons of debts. They have what they call forward flow agreements from credit card companies. So MasterCard or your bank, not MasterCard themselves, but your bank that issues your MasterCard or Visa card will agree to sell off all of the debts that go bad, all the accounts that they charge off to Midland at a fixed rate for a fixed period of time. This is usually a number of years. And the fixed rate is less than 10 cents on the dollar. So what does Midland Funding do with all the billions of dollars it has for collections? Well, they turn it over to Midland Credit Management to actually turn those accounts into money in their pocket. Midland Credit Management will sue you. Well, they'll send you letters. Before they sue you, they'll send you letters. They'll send anywhere from 6 to 8, maybe 10 letters. Welcome to Midland Credit Management. Congratulations, we've got a great deal for you. We're ready to make a deal with you. Give us a call. And they'll make offers in every one of their letters, and their offers will progressively get better. So if you're at the beginning of Midland's collection cycle, you're not going to be getting the best deal you'll get at the end of the Midland collection cycle. Their letters, after the first 3 or 4 or 5 letters, their letters will start to get more serious. They'll say, your account has been flagged for possible attorney review. And then they'll say, this is our second to the last notice before a potential attorney review. This is the final notice before attorney review. And then they'll send a letter saying attorney review. Well, attorney review. What does an attorney review at Midland look like? Well, an attorney scrolls through a spreadsheet. Okay. All right, let's sue them. The attorneys don't do bankruptcy scrubs. That means they don't go and check bankruptcy records to make sure your account has not been included in a bankruptcy. They have software that does all that. They don't do any other kind of scrubs. The attorneys don't. They just scroll through a spreadsheet. Okay, checked off. There's not any really meaningful attorney review at this point. And then once the attorney okays those, they go to a production office where they turn the data and the spreadsheets into lawsuits. And those lawsuits get filed en masse in massive amounts. There was something like, I can't remember whether it's 300 or 500,000 debt collection lawsuits filed in the state of Texas last year. It's incredible, the volume of lawsuits that they file. They file them in every court, from the small claims courts to the county courts, the district courts. They file them all over the state, constantly filing lawsuits. And they're managed by teams of paralegals. Midland has anywhere from 5 to 10, maybe 12 attorneys at any given time in the state of Texas. Paralegals manage all their litigation. They hire attorneys to show up, appearance attorneys, to show up and appear in court for them. Their core staff of attorneys is in Houston. They may have 1 or 2 in Dallas. They seldom ever show up in court on these cases. They just couldn't. They'd be spread too thin. They'd be in dozens of courts across the state every day. Midland will then get a judgment. against you. Something like 90% of the 300 or 500,000 lawsuits that were filed last year resulted in a default judgment. People don't get service, or they ignore the service, or they get substituted service, meaning that the process server leaves the lawsuit on their doorstep. The wind blows it away. People ignore it. Anyways, a lawsuit turns into a judgment. The judgment is then used to try to collect the debt more aggressively. So a debt collector doesn't have a lot of tools at their disposal when they just have a debt. They can call you, they can email you, they can send you letters, but they don't have any way to enforce the debt without getting a judgment. Now, once they get a judgment, once your account passes attorney review, goes to a judgment, gets filed, goes to a judgment, then they have a lot more and more powerful tools. One of Midland's favorite things these days is to send out discovery, often called interrogatories, in aid of enforcement of the judgment. So they'll send you what is commonly known as post-judgment discovery. And in that post-judgment discovery, they'll phrase it so that if you don't answer, it means that you admit to having money in bank accounts that they're able to seize. And if they got a default judgment in the first place and they use this, people are not going to answer that. And then they have the basis to get a receiver appointed. When a receiver is appointed, the receiver can send a letter to the bank and freeze your bank accounts. They have incredible power. They can pull your credit reports. They can find out where you bank, how much money you have in your bank accounts, and they can freeze that money. So that's a bit of an overview of Midland Funding, Midland Credit Management. It's all part of the same deal. They are separate entities legally, but they work together very closely. Midland Funding buys the debt. Midland Credit Management collects the debt. Now, Midland will sometimes turn the debt over to other entities, other third parties to collect. It's not unusual. It's not super common, but it's not unusual either. If you see Midland on your credit report, check the amounts on your credit report. Make sure they agree with any collection letters or lawsuits filed against you. Sometimes Midland won't put the debt on your credit report as an account, but you'll see Midland in the soft inquiries part of your credit report. That means Midland has got your account, because they couldn't make a soft inquiry if they didn't own your account, but they're not reporting it. You can send Midland a letter and ask them to mark it disputed or to request verification at that point. And that's a good idea because they're sort of hiding behind the curtain there. And it's always best for consumers to have as much information about what's going on, especially with companies like Midland, as they can. If you got something out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed to this channel. And if you're having problems with Midland or you're ready to turn the tables on any debt collector, give me a call. I'm here to help you out. My number's in the comments below. You can reach me anytime. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.